Now we're good. We are going live.
We're going live. We're going live. Don't screw anything up.
I'll try.
I'm just kidding. We are live. All right. Hey. What's up, everybody? I'm Sam. This is my buddy Max.
Hello.
And we share a common interest in painting miniatures for games, not necessarily board games. You're more of a Warhammer player, yeah?
Yes, I am.
So what are the things that you're interested in?
Well,
As far as games are concerned. Yeah.
As far as games are concerned, when it comes to tabletop gaming, I started with 40K because that was kind of the easy entry for me. I've always been, kind of into sci-fi, and then a couple years ago, I really started looking into 40K and delved into that, which then that kind of entered me into board gaming and whatever. But no, I got just recently gotten into Age of Sigmar. Been into Underworlds for a little bit. Yeah. And just kind of my hobby's grown from like just strictly sci-fi to fantasy. But it's kind of just grown from there. Yeah. But yeah.
That's cool. We are basically going to be painting a couple of different war bands from Warhammer Direchasm. And this is part of that Warhammer Underworlds it's kind of a
skirmish game.
Yeah, it's a skirmish game, but it's kind of like a bridge between
board game,
tabletops and board games. Yeah. So Games Workshop came out with the first one, I don't know, goodness, I want to say almost 7 or 8 years ago,
possibly,
with Shadespire.
Yeah.
And they've just had a lot of these different box sets. There are also a lot of individual warband boxes that you can buy as well. So this is a box that's basically like a standalone of the game. So you can go out. It has the board in it that you play on. It has all of the cards, all of the dice, all of the stuff that you need to play. It has the miniatures. You do have to assemble the miniatures, but one of the things that I was commenting to Max about is that these are push fit.
Yeah.
Minis. You don't have to use any glue. I still use glue just because I'm that way, but you don't have to. And they fit together pretty stinking well.
Yeah.
So without glue. So these are pretty cool box sets. This one is, I can't remember, this one came out in 2020, I think?
Yeah.
Does it say on the
2020,
yeah, it's right here. It says 2020. Okay. So, but that's what we're doing. Now, we probably won't finish all 4 models, because we have 4 models each, and
I'm just going to be focusing on 2.
Yeah.
I know.
I might just focus on 1 because I want to. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to do all the bases first, which is kind of strange, backwards, because I usually do bases last. But there's not a whole lot of foot contact on these bases with these minis, with these specific minis. So they're like tiptoeing around. They're Eldar. They're like Warhammer Eldar.
Yeah. Blech. You got the wood elves.
No. Anyway, I do have a dude that I'm going to start with, and the reason I'm starting with is because he's got this stinking huge Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's pretty freaking cool. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we're doing.
Gunnar is here and he says hello. And
hello.
Brent says, "Who's that cute-looking farmer on the left?"
Oh, Brent. Shouldn't you be at work?
Having buddies.
Oh yeah.
Having buddies hijack the feed is always a good thing.
I've been telling people come watch me make an ass of myself.
No, that's all good.
That's funny.
You didn't tell him that I'm here.
Oh.
Jesse's here if you didn't hear.
I'm here.
She's here. See, she's going to be manning the. I just don't have enough camera angle to get her into to the camera, so I apologize for that. But Jesse is here, so you can talk to Jesse too. She's going to be taking care of the chat for us, asking us questions so that we don't have to stop painting while we go into that. But otherwise, I've got this angle set up. I also have switch over to camera angle 2 real quick. Switch over to camera angle 2, and this is Max's angle, and you can see that up on the screen right there, so you can kind of show where you'll need to be in camera if need be. But I've got his station on camera 2, and then we also have a third camera. I've got my iPhone set up here as a third camera, and
I'll get there. I'll get there.
okay,
I'm techie.
you got to click on that, and then
I click and then I press this.
yep, and that's our third angle where we'll be able to just kind of show the models as we work on them. And these are the ones that I'm probably not going to get to today, but yeah.
And
We'll have all that
it looks
set
like
up.
ring. I'm wondering the same thing as Brent.
Oh, that Gregory.
Ring a ring a ring a ring.
I love you.
All right, so I'm going to get started on the base
Okay,
here.
what do you
yeah,
want me,
See
honey?
if
What camera?
it happens.
Is my mic all right?
Yep,
Mic
your
is
mic's good.
Cool.
If it's comfy for you, it's good for us, I
It's
think.
fine with me.
So I'm using Army Painter, and these are speed paints. So I'm kind of doing the
And Link
The
Storm
sand.
52 says, "Aye, hello."
aye, hello.
Oh, that's
What is
fancy.
that?
That is
That's fancy. Wait, I
that
wanna
is
show
a.
that.
This is the brand is Lab Genius, but it is
Lab
it is a
Genius.
vortex mixer. It's just got a small arm that articulates under the cap
Yeah,
and helps shake up your paints.
that's pretty funny.
That
'Cause
is
my,
super cool.
My paints usually separate between
Yep.
times that I paint.
Between paint times, yep. Understood.
And
That's
I'm
exactly how it works.
gonna start with the Dread Pageant. They are Slaneshi worshippers.
Slaneshi worshippers?
Yeah.
That sounds evil.
Vernon Piper
There.
says, "Critical critique incoming."
Oh no, not Vernon. Vernon is a buddy of mine. We've actually painted a lot together. So yeah, his critical critique is kind of like the wounds of a friend. I'll put it that way.
All right.
Maybe I can't find camera one.
Okay, just a second. Camera one, remember, is here,
Oh,
and then you have to hit the one.
click the button.
Yep, there you go.
Buttons.
Buttons. So,
And Rye Vargas says, "Max, we love you."
oh
I
boy.
love Rai.
Let's see. So yeah, just feel free to ask questions and chat with us as we're going. That's one of the reasons why Jessie's here, is so that she can let us know what you're saying, ask the questions that you're asking.
And they don't have to take their eyes up off what they're doing.
Yeah, and we don't have to stop doing what we're doing. So
Vernon says, "I approve of Max using Citadel in paint droppers."
wow, yeah.
Yeah, off camera, you probably can't see, or you can see a little bit. I still have a few blends in the pot, but I have a whole bag of droppers, caps, and funnels at home because I don't mind the pots, but I feel like I can get what I want out of the
Max,
droppers.
I only have the base of your shot.
Okay.
No, you can. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Okay.
There's
Just try to get as comfortable as you can.
yeah,
It'll take
no,
some
it's
time.
all weird.
Yeah. No, I'm used to just like sucking it up to my face and just
exactly
staring at it.
That's exactly.
And then Link Storm 52 says, "How do y'all feel about some word I can't pronounce? Zenithal primering with speed contract paints."
Zenithal primering with speed contract paints.
That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yep.
Ish.
Those are all words that I really have very little experience with because I am really an amateur painter. I am not super good at any of this. This is just something that I enjoy doing. And on top of that, I'm not huge at I'm not huge on remembering all the details like that. So what is Zenithal primering?
So Zenithal,
Go for it.
Just from what I understand of it, Zenithal is like when you do a base prime, and then you will do kind of an overshadowing with a lighter paint.
Got it.
And so that way it's like, mostly from what I've seen of it or understood it, I've never played a lot with it. I think what I did, you could classify as a Zenithal because I did do a base prime and then I did another color.
Yeah.
But I think Zenithal is a method of which you can make, like, if you wanted it to look like if your model was just, in the wild doing what he does, it's where the light is a little
Yes.
bit brighter.
Okay.
So I personally don't do a lot of Zenithal just because it takes a little bit more forethought.
Yep.
And just kind of in the frequency that I do mini painting, it's pretty much just I want to prime it, and I just want to
Get it done.
get as much done as I can.
Yep.
Models like the Underworlds models, I can see you doing kind of a preference of that just because there are fewer of them to make up a warband.
Yeah.
But
Focus a little bit more.
you can focus a little bit more on the stronger details because there's few of them to make up the warband. Whereas
Yep.
like if I'm doing my Death Guard army for 40k, or if I'm doing my Osiark Bone Reapers for
like
Age of Sigmar,
50 models.
yeah, where I'm doing like 40 Mortec Guard.
Right.
It's the kind of thing of like, could I do it? Maybe I could do it for like a few champion pieces.
Right.
But like the by and large, what I'm doing, I'm probably not going to do a Zenithal just because it takes a little bit more time and I want to get through that army so I can actually use it.
Well, now that I know what you're talking about, I have done that in the past. I did it on a couple of minis, and again, it's kind of following along what Max is saying. The minis that I've been doing, that I did a couple of them for the Iron Maiden pack sets from CMON for their Zombicide games. And I did kind of that. I dry brushed a lighter, I dry brushed white over a gray base coat. And I know dry brushing isn't necessarily the Zenithal, but it's the same idea because you are trying to get the lighting correct and you're trying to get the areas of the model that would be brighter to stand out and be a little bit more brighter. So I did use that, maybe not the same method, but the same idea.
Vernon is painting alongside of us. He's painting Marvel Zombicide.
Well, there you have it.
And then opinions on Henry Cavill's Warhammer show.
Oh, Henry Cavill's.
Henry Cavill.
Cavill's.
If you don't mind, I go.
No, yeah.
I'm
cautiously
optimistic. I am cautiously optimistic, just based off of what I've heard him going through, like with the Witcher series.
Yep.
He was, correcting a lot of the incorrect lore that they were trying to pass off in the show. Like he'd be like, no, this character wouldn't say that. This character wouldn't do that. And then if you miss this piece, then what happens after this won't really make sense.
Yep.
And so just for his attention to how the lore ought to be, and it makes me a little bit optimistic, but at the same time, I was just listening to a YouTube video on lore the other day, and he was talking about, or this guy was talking about, the thing with 40k lore is just that it's so open-ended, and there's so many pieces that they didn't close up on, and so it's like, it's kind of a mishmash basket of what you get.
That's dangerous.
And so, but so there are some possibilities for artistic reinterpretation or whatever, but because of Cavill's desire to stay as true to lore as he can,
That's cool.
it makes me feel better. But at the same time, it's like we'll see what Amazon wants to go with, what they want to have the story, how they want to have the story told, and whatever. But I'm excited. I'll keep my opinion guarded until it actually happens. But until then, I'm not opposed to it because it would be cool to have like a proper live action to it. But I'm more interested in like where they would go with it. Like what characters will they do?
Yep.
What storyline will they choose? Will it be pre-Horus Heresy? Will it be post-Horus Heresy? Will it be kind of in the age of the Inquisition while the Emperor's sitting on the Golden Throne.
Well, no one expects the Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. But no, I'm excited for it.
That's cool.
But yeah, we'll see, because it's like when you have a universe that you are attached to just because you've read books, and then you can as you desire piecemeal storylines together. It's kind of one thing, but when it goes into major production, you don't know.
Yep.
So,
You don't know. You just have to kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best at that point.
Yeah.
Because you got people that hopefully are on. You got people that are hopefully engaged and invested in what the IP already has to offer.
Right.
And they really want to showcase that instead of getting
Changing
somebody
it.
that's, a little too artistic, shall we say, and desire to put their little stamp of whatever on it instead of just showcasing the IP for what it is.
Yeah.
But it seems like Cavill's interested in really showcasing the IP.
Yeah. I think a lot, and I will not endeavor to say that I speak for the Warhammer community, because as I am relatively new, as of the last 4 years to it, but I think Cavill and the way that he feels about established lore, there is that sense of hopeful optimism, but also just a little bit skeptical of the lore. I mean, it changes and contradicts itself as it is.
Try to get a little bit.
I was just going to say, do
sorry.
you want me to move that?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay,
You're fine.
you're good. You're back
Actually,
in.
you know what I can do?
That's what I was
You go comfortable, and I'll move the
Yeah,
camera.
you go where you are. That's what I was just going to try to do.
I felt myself kind of slowly
You go where you.
creeping myself up.
Bring it to where you're comfortable. We'll put the camera on you.
Right, so I usually have it about right here.
Linkstorm52
that's cool.
asks, Sam, have you painted any of the Darkest Dungeon minis?
Nope, not yet.
I love Darkest Dungeon. It's such a good game.
And then Vernon says, Sam is an amateur painter, but a master of critiquing my paint jobs.
I am. All his stuff sucks.
I don't think so.
Do you even thin your paints?
I don't thin my paints.
I don't usually have
That's
to.
good. That's perfect.
Okay, cool. I don't usually have to thin my paints if they're from most of Citadel's or even my Vallejo paints. I don't have to thin too terribly. But I got these paints from what is it? Monument Hobbies. It's their Pro Acryl line.
Yeah.
Some of them can tend to be pretty thick,
Super
but
thick.
they're very rich pigment, and so I don't mind working around them a little bit, but they just take a little bit more attention to.
Yeah. I try to do as little forework as possible. I really just want to get in here and paint. I don't really want to do a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Vernon tried to get me to be down with airbrushing, and he got me started on airbrushing. But I haven't really continued with it very much because there's a lot of extra stuff that goes along with it. Having to clean the nozzles and all that other kind of stuff. And
Yeah, and when I first started getting into mini painting, because it's my journey was really watch lore videos, get into the universe, and then I decided that this kind of looks fun and I wouldn't mind painting. But one of my buddies who's been doing it forever, Daniel, he's big into the game Kings of War.
oh yeah,
And so he lives down in Portland, but he was actually one of the first people, him and his brother Ben, who's one of my best friends, they were the guys that I first heard about Warhammer through. I was about 8 or so, and I thought it was weird that they had to build and paint their own toys and they couldn't really even play with them. But when I first started getting into mini painting, all the video, I would watch a lot of YouTube videos just to see is this something I really want to get into?
Yep.
And a lot of them I used airbrushes.
Yep.
And I'm like, is this something that I really should consider? Is this something I should look into? And he's like, I've never really found a spot where I looked at a Mini and I was like, this would be so much better if I airbrushed.
Yeah.
Right.
There are times that I think about it just because it's like, if I wanted to do a proper zenithal, or if I'm going through 100 minis to make an army, you know, is there a way that I can do my base coat faster? But like usually for me it comes down to like what you said, Sam, of sure, I have this tool that will make it faster, but then I have all this other work to go along with it, and then you're making sure that you have your paints thinned enough that you aren't gonna goober up your machine. The other thing for me is it's like, you know, with me living in a small farmhouse, it's like, do I have a space that has adequate airflow so I'm not sitting there getting absolutely fried off of my my paint? But
Vernon said he absolutely hates the Pro acrylic bottles. The paint never seems to come out easily.
The thing that I've found with the Pro acrylic is that usually before I open them, I'll have to scrape off the top. But you can go on Amazon, I found them, and just get a regular pop top and just drop it out. I've not, just because it's like, for me with the Pro Acryl, they've never really been a primary paint for me. And so like, I only have to deal with them a handful of times, so it's not been like the top priority for me to change my tips out. But like the one that I had the most was this color, the burnt red, because this was a lot of the color that I did for my Lannister army for A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yep.
And you know, I would have it where, you know, you'd squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and all of a sudden it just farts out, and it's just the paint all over your palette.
Yep.
But by and large, I haven't had a huge issue with these little twist tops, besides just having to clear off and then make sure that your paint's clear of chunks and whatnot. But as far as the paint itself goes, I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of done what I've wanted it to do, and it's got nice colors. But
let's see, how did you say that person's name? Rai
Vargas.
Rai Vargas says, is Warhammer an expensive hobby? And Linkstorm52 said, yes, so much. Then Vernon Piper said, drugs would be cheaper. And Nuno Rebello said, and less addictive.
So
there's a lot of truth to that, actually.
Yeah.
But this is a good addiction, though. I think it's artistic. It's wholesome.
It's cathartic.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I kind of want a place that, you know, or a way of acquiring stuff that my buddy Ben taught me was like, you know, don't go straight. I mean, yes, support your local game stores. That's not what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
But like, there are so many options to go secondhand. You know, one of my favorite ones is a company out of England called Troll Trader. I've bought a lot of my Death Guard from them, just because, you know, they're pre-built, so you don't know if they're going to come broken. Yep. But I mean, just the money you save on it that way has been transformative to how I hobby. I mean, granted, there are some times or some things that you can't get around, unfortunately, but
that's by design.
And that's by design. You know,
A couple questions. Linkstorm52 says, do y'all have a favorite Warhammer 40K book? And then the second question is, Max, do you use Vallejo Rattle can primer? I absolutely love it.
I have not tried Vallejo Rattle can primer before. And before the stream, I was telling Jesse and Sam, when I got into the hobby, my wife and I didn't have a lot of money, but I knew that this was a hobby I wanted to pursue. Yeah. So I've gone pretty much the cheap route, you know, not the route that has made it hard for me to get the quality of models that I want, but it's just I go and buy a can of Rust-Oleum primer, you know, and so just where I can save money, I've tried to. I've not had any inadequacies in how I feel I'm painting because of going that route, but no, I know that, you know, like certain primers from companies like Citadel or Army Painter or Vallejo, there may be an element that they are higher quality, but for me, I'm just a hobby painter. You know, I'm not going to Adepticon or LVO, and I'm not going for Golden Demon painted models. So just whatever I feel like is adequate to how I want to go with it. But that's just me. Yeah. As far as favorite Warhammer novels, I just in this last month finished the Night Lords trilogy by Aaron Dembski Bowden, and the first 2 books were good. The last book, Voidstalker, was exceptional in my opinion. I really enjoyed that, but I'm still currently working through the Horus Heresy series on Audible. It's a good listen when I'm on the tractor farming. Just can kind of listen and do what I need to do, not really have to think too much about it. And yeah, that's been a fun one for me. But
I only read rule books. That's all I got time for. I do read other books, don't get me wrong, but like I'm reading a comic book right now. It's actually a graphic novel. It's one that I picked up in
Captain America.
no, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
What's wrong with you?
I forgot. That's what's wrong with me. I forgot. Vernon says, I highly recommend checking out the Valero primer. It coats easily and very thin. Dries fast, too.
fabulous.
Linkstorm52 says, how far is Max through the HH series?
I can pull it up right now. I am on, I want to say, so I am currently working through the Outcast Dead, which is, I believe, pull it up, book 17. So I have about 50 some to go until I reach the end of the death.
Holy Moses.
Yeah, it's like 63, 66 books.
That's a lot.
Dang.
They just finished the series though. Yeah. No, I'm working through it, kind of slowly and as much as I can, because the other books I'm listening to on Audible right now are the Stormlight Archive from Brandon Sanderson, which was referred to me by my buddy Brent. And yeah, no, Audible is kind of what I primarily listen to when I'm working on the tractor. I listen to some podcasts and music or whatever, but it usually depends on my mood for the day or what I'm going through. Like if I'm on and off the tractor a lot, I'll probably just stick to music, but audiobooks are a good way to just kind of pass the time, and you know, you get your creative fix listening to it, and it helps me keep me stay excited for the hobby.
Yeah. That's a cool perk of doing that.
But
Keeps your finger on the pulse, kind of.
yeah, you know, because it's like I said, I paint when I can. I usually paint if my wife is like gone for work, or if she's out doing something with her mom, you know, or if she's at home taking a nap or something. I'll usually get a couple models in. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of batch painting, but kind of when you're trying to work through an army, you're not left with many options. Because when I first started building my Death Guard army, I was trying to do it like every individual model is its own piece.
Oof.
And I picked up quickly that was not gonna be adequate for trying to get 2,000 points worth of Space Marines and cultists done.
Yeah, that's rough.
And that's kind of when I started picking on with priming in the color that I want the army to be.
Yeah, Vernon, I believe, is huge into that, and that's what he actually uses his airbrush for. At least back when we were, living pretty close to each other. That's what he kind of does with his airbrushes. He uses it as a primer instead of doing the spray cans or what have you. But
yeah, and kind of the one thing that when I before I got into the hobby, I never really noticed, but our area does not have a plethora of options for game stores.
That is to say, there are none.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do picture in picture too?
Sure. Yeah. Well, there you go.
So I click this,
Yes.
but it didn't do anything.
You gotta. That's because it's still off. You gotta turn it on.
But just from my own, what I think of, it's like
There's one that's over in Ellensburg. Have you been to that one?
I have not been to Windy City.
Yeah.
I would love to, but the frequency at which I find myself actually in Ellensburg versus just passing by it is not very high.
You got that right.
There are a couple stores near us. We have one in Wenatchee that I can never really get to because I'm hardly ever in Wenatchee.
Right.
The cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm never here when they're open.
Yes, that's the valid
Yes,
point.
there you go. I'll go ahead and say that.
I'm never here when they're open. And then other options for our area here are either in Leavenworth at Krampus Cave, which I've bought a few models from them, gotten some paint there.
Yep.
And then up in Omak, there's actually a small shop called Eastside Gaming.
Really?
I have not. Yeah. It's
that.
right across the street from the Stampede grounds. They host a lot of nights for Magic the Gathering. They have some Warhammer nights, but I know that they carry paints and supplies and models. Yeah. But again, like here in Wenatchee, seldom am I ever in.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's with I have been to the cave, and I'm sad to say you're not really missing much.
Yeah.
It looks more like a. It looks more like a place that the owner has just so that he can play D&D with his buddies.
Yeah, I went in there once. That's actually where I got my first.
That's actually where I bought Direchasm.
Okay, that's where I bought Beastgrave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for 40K, it looked like he had a lot of Eldar.
Yep.
Which that's not an army I play or am really interested in playing.
Yeah.
But
neither am I.
But
somebody stuck me with the Wood Elves for this box set. So.
Well, it's not my fault that half the Wood Elves on my sprue were broken.
Oh man. Really?
Yeah, I pulled them out and I was looking at them and I'm like the staff right here below the emblem was broken, and then a couple of the bowstrings on this guy.
Did it come that way, or
I'm not sure. I bought it
a long time ago.
Maybe last summer, because the faction that I really liked for Direchasm is Canaan's Reapers, which are an attachment to the Osiark Bone Reapers.
Yep.
And I really liked them. Thought the models were cool, and then as I started reading, there was something about like a tithe token that they have. So I was like, well, it's obviously in the Direchasm box, so I had to get it.
Right.
And then ended up not in there, so I'm like, well, at least I have those models. But no, actually, Direchasm is the Underworld set that I have the most warbands for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then I have the Starblood Stalkers, which are the Seraphon models. But then what I got really excited about with the Canaan's Reapers was that when I started... when I started building the Ozark Bone Reaper army I have.
I'll just put this stuff out here, and these are the ones that I've done. You know, I'm not completely done with them yet, of course, but I'm just doing the rocks. I'm going to go over with a lighter shade with this ash gray and dry brush the rocks to bring out some of the details a little bit more. But I'm actually doing what you said you don't like doing very much of, is that's the you know, the batch painting.
Yeah.
You know, doing everything of one thing on the models before you get started with the others.
Yeah, and I I don't know, just kind of when I was coming down, I was thinking about what I wanted to get done.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that for the time we have, two models was about my maximum capacity for focus.
Yep.
Because I mean, I could do all of them, but I don't think I would do them quite
As well
as I'd like to.
Well, my thing is that if I can just get started, it will drive me up a wall to see unpainted models.
Yeah.
Well, no, half painted, because I know Vernon probably just jumped at the screen. You play so many games with unpainted models. What are you talking about? If I have them half painted, that bugs me. Having unpainted versus painted, that's fine. But if it's half painted, like one of the reasons I haven't played my Battle Lore 2nd edition set more is because half of the minis are painted and half of them aren't. And that drives me up a wall.
Vernon laughed.
Yeah.
I asked, I see all the board games, Sam. Have you played in Gloomhaven, Frosthaven?
No. Well, let me caveat that. I have played Gloomhaven once when I was with the Dice Tower. Tom, you know, the Dice Tower got a copy of Gloomhaven in for free, for a review, and we were playing that together. And Z and I were not as enamored with it after the first play. And so Tom took it home, and we never saw it again. And then he did the review of it, and I never had a chance to play it after that. And I haven't ever had the chance to play Frosthaven either. But that's just the way it is. Yes. And to clarify, I'm not bitter about it. It's just I think it's a funny story. Because Tom just freaking fell in love with it.
He's like, that's it. I like it.
Yeah, so Rai is actually one of my good buddies here in Wenatchee. And he's friends with Ring and Brent. And they have played through Gloomhaven.
Nice.
And now they're working their way through Frosthaven.
Cool.
Yeah, so they really enjoyed that game.
Yep. And it's absolutely cool. The difficulty that I had with the Dice Tower is that we were always having to get the new stuff played. We always had to get all the new stuff played. And so I didn't have time, and I really still don't have that much time because of family, but I don't have the time that it takes to sink into what I would consider lifestyle-ish type games. Like 40K is a lifestyle game in my opinion, because you got to pour everything into your hobby. You got to pour into learning the rules, and playing the games take a while. So there's a lot of that, but I just don't have a whole lot of extra time for that, which is one of the reasons why I like Underworld so much, because it scratches that same itch that I really enjoy about tabletop games, but it does it in a real accessible time frame. So for me, I know what you love, you make time for, and that's just the way it is. But
yeah, Vernon laughed at, I cannot play with unpainted minis.
Yeah, of course he did.
Right, he said 3-year campaign for Gloomhaven, and even then we rushed the last scenarios.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time for one game, and I'm sure you're not spending all of your time playing the one game. I would imagine you play others.
Long to
but
play,
but yeah, you get through it all. Yeah.
Well, and that probably is incorporating schedules and life and how it's not like you're just sitting down and can play for 2 weeks straight.
Don't judge me.
Don't judge me.
Oh, I gotta drink my coffee, man.
Coffee. I have mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you're not drinking yours.
Mm. My hands are tied up. That's kind of why I'm not drinking mine. How's it going over there, man?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Just kind of. I know a lot of people say that. Don't worry about touching other areas.
Yeah,
And,
'cause you can always come
'cause
back
you
and fix
can
it.
Come back and fix it, but
If you can save time, you can save time.
I'm a little too OCD for that.
No.
No, not at all.
Miniature painters are not OCD at all.
Not
Nope.
a bit.
We can be.
No, I guess.
But there is a point at which I'm like, that's good enough.
Yeah,
Because I'm like frustrated with how long it's taken and all that kind of thing.
yeah, and that usually shows up in my edge highlighting.
Yep.
Because it's like if I've got 20 or 30 army or models of a unit that I need to get through, I'm not gonna really fuss about it too badly.
Yeah.
I mean, I want my minis to look good, but
Yep.
at the same time, it's like I only have so much time to get through it versus
Absolutely.
everything else I need or want to do.
Well, that's similar with any hobby.
Yep.
Like we just, it's a hobby, but that doesn't mean. Vernon would like to clarify that you drink your coffee, not your paint water.
I that's why I have it in two different vats.
Been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't taste too bad.
Nuno asks,
After the
Sam,
initial
have you
shock.
played Nemesis? If you did you
Yes.
like it?
Yes. Yeah, we played you've played Nemesis too.
Mm-hmm.
We played that over at JT's house. And I love the second Alien movie, Aliens. And that is about as close to Aliens the movie on a board game as you can possibly get. What did he say now?
Oh, I was just laughing at aliens in a box.
Oh, I see.
And how much I didn't love aliens.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know me.
It's a fun little we played it cooperatively,
That was fun.
and I really enjoyed it. And the soldier, I was playing the soldier, and the soldier was the only one to get out.
Yeah.
But we won because of that. And I haven't played I know that there's a competitive version of it as well. I haven't played that version yet.
Kent, Atticus1313 says, "Hey y'all,
What's up, Kent? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see. There we go.
and Vernon said corporate objective only. In caps.
Corporate objective only. What does that mean?
Probably about Nemesis.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care, man. We won. Or more exact, I won. Because my dude got out. Nobody else did.
I didn't win. If that's what you're saying. I think I was the first to die.
I don't. Were you?
I think so.
Maybe. I don't recall, but
Rebello says, Aliens 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Would you consider making a Nemesis live play?
yes, we would. I'm
That's what you heard.
Pretty sure JT would be down for it too. I know he loves the game.
Well, now that I know how to play it, I can do it again.
Yeah. Oh crap!
What did you do?
I made a mistake that I'm going to have to go back and fix. Because one of the reasons why I went with a straight white primer on this army is that most of their armor is white. And so I'm like, all right, so I'll do white primer on these guys, and then I'll use speed paints, and that should make everything go pretty quick. And then I forgot about, oh wait, the rocks. But this is my...
You want to see? Are they looking?
Yeah, go ahead. But I do need to wash my brush out here because it's getting a little goopy. even with putting, thinning out the paint. So I'm going to have to get a little bit of extra here. How are we doing?
We're good.
Vernon said, always primary color.
Just make it easier on yourself.
And Vernon says, Nemesis has personal and cooperative objectives. Cooperative objectives are Wayland. You're making me use words here, Vernon. Mutiny needs overcrew, which is why I pick it.
What?
I don't know. Making up words, I swear.
Nemesis has personal and corporate objectives. Corporate objectives are Wayland Yutani.
Yes,
That's
Yutani.
the company.
Okay.
Needs overcrew, which is why I pick it. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Wait. No. There we go. Got it.
Corporate, not cooperative. Thanks, Vernon.
Corporate, cooperative, same thing.
They start with the same letters, so...
That's true.
Ouch.
Man, I am not good at this. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right?
Having fun.
Yeah. That's the main point of it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't mind. What?
I was going to say, do you want to hold it up to the camera?
Oh
and
yeah,
see how you're doing?
show how people are giving a close up. So show people how
Put
you're
it
doing.
it's in front of the cell phone there, a little bit farther back.
Let's see.
Let's see,
Get
Sam.
these guys back.
Yeah, right about there. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, get
No, you're
paint,
good, you're
paint
good,
all,
you're
paint
good.
all over your minis. Yeah, I'm just working on his skin tones and some of his black leather.
Get it in there. So, the black leather.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a...
This dude was interesting. I love the claw, the mandible.
Yeah, the claw is kind of what I've been looking at because I've been trying to get inspiration off of the Slaneshi Demonettes.
Yep.
From 40K.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, just trying to figure out what I want to do. And that's half my battle when I'm going through something. Like I can look at inspiration all I want.
Figuring
but
out what you're gonna do,
until I
yeah.
finally get on it, it's like I have no idea.
Yep. Understood. That's cool. So what we're planning on doing, and again, this is kind of we're not really locked into this, and we gotta be flexible with Max's schedule and all that. But we're gonna actually be playing Direchasm here later on, not today, but after we get these two war bands all dudded up and ready for the ball, we'll be playing it. We'll be doing a live stream of it on a upcoming Friday. It'll probably be well after Dice Tower West, since that's coming up just in a couple of weeks.
Very soon.
So
Vernon says, you won't find me playing cooperative. And he also says, knowing is usually half of my battle.
go, Joe. Jesse's gonna go shopping for shoes today.
Yeah, and by shopping for shoes, he doesn't mean like fancy things. I just need a new pair of tennis shoes. I'm not a shoe person.
That's
I
why.
wear one pair of tennis shoes, and I wear it for a year and a half until they're dead.
That's why I said it the way I said it, because I wanted it to sound like you were being,
all
fancy.
girly and going shopping
Yeah.
for shoes to add to my shoe collection. Aiden is the only one in the family that has a shoe collection.
And he has like 4 pairs of shoes. It's not.
You are wrong.
Oh, he does. He's got a pair of cleats that he just bought. He's got like 3 pairs of tennis shoes, and he doesn't fit into the other ones apparently anymore. So.
I don't know. There's a lot of shoes under his bed.
Yeah, that's true.
Nuno said Henry Cavill is going to produce a Warhammer Amazon. We talked about that. Since he's a Warhammer enthusiast, it
Unless
should
you
be
want to
pretty
come
good.
back to a bunch of laughing.
No, and Vernon says, you won't have those miniatures finished today?
No, I'm not like you, Vernon, and neither is Max.
No,
We're normal.
I'm slow and steady. I've got
Vernon has the moniker of we were playing, what was it? I think it was Blood Rage. We were playing Blood Rage live during a live show, and I think the monsters weren't finished painting yet. So as we're playing the game,
he's painting them.
he's painting them.
Attaboy.
But it's like I need to move this. Where is it? Oh, I'm almost finished. Hold on.
I'm painting it right
I got
now.
another base coat to go.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. You're good. You're good.
Turn off your mic.
He did.
Okay. I was like, wait.
He did.
I forget.
Yeah. Tom forgot once. Once.
Right?
But that's pretty cool. Max is a good, well, I say a good friend. He's a good friend because he's a good person. So, but we know each other from church, and he was wearing a Games Workshop, a Warhammer eagle, and another buddy of ours, Brian, he said, "Hey, you should go up and remark about his pendant because you know what it's actually from. Everybody else thinks it's just Zelda." And so I was like, "Oh, so I walked up to him and we were at church and I walked up to him. I was like, "Ah, cool, Warhammer," and he was like, "You actually know what it is." So that was a pretty neat thing. It's pretty funny.
Nice intro.
Yeah, it is. Boy. I don't know if I'm doing this.
Do you want to show what you're doing?
Well, no, it's pretty much the same as what's over here. I'm just finishing the last base, and I'm like, man, this is taking so long just to do the bases. It'll speed up a little bit more once I start using the speed paints, I think, but still, good night. I don't want to get on to the parts where I've done the sand golem speed painting for the actual dirt, and it's just taken longer than I thought it was going to, but it's not a big deal. And so, but it is what it is. I'm not worried about it at all. There we go. Almost done with the bases, so then we can actually start putting some color on the models themselves very soon. What have we got? Anything else?
No, we're good.
Yeah, Nuno actually piped up about the Warhammer Amazon TV show.
Yes, we talked about that earlier. But
Yeah, we did. And he said that since he is an enthusiast, it should be good, is what he said. Yeah,
that's kind of what Max said,
yeah,
too.
that's what we were talking about earlier. We're kind of
Hopefully optimistic.
yeah, hopefully optimistic. I guess we'll see how much pull Henry Cavill has in the final product.
Exactly.
Because if it's pretty close to what fans are going to be expecting, then we know that the producers and whatnot actually listened to Henry. But if it isn't, then corporate ne'er-do-wells had their way.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm always usually I try to be, because I'm a Star Wars fan. All right, so that should say something right there, because I think it's almost right now kind of posh to be a hater of Star Wars. With the at least with the new ones that have come out, and I usually agree to an extent. They aren't as good as the originals. I get it, but at the end of the day, I get to go watch Star Wars on a big screen again.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Vernon would like to say, you can just say you're out of practice.
Yep, that's what it is, Vernon. I am definitely out
Nuno
of
said
practice.
Henry will be the producer and the star actor.
Yeah.
So that'll have probably more pull than
Right, but at the end of the day, the
corporate people.
the corporate peeps are
Make
going to
their
have their
decision.
say, whether or not they listen to Henry or, and kind of let him do what he knows, I guess, should be done, maybe. Or are they going to say, no, we're going to do it our way because it's cheaper or what have you, Who knows?
Like I said earlier, I think my opinion is gonna stay guarded until
Until it comes
until
out.
it comes out and I
Yep.
see. Because I mean, like, and even then, like, it could be the type of thing where it's. I mean, some people in the community will absolutely hate it.
Yep.
Right.
Could be something that I love dearly.
Yep.
But
I'm a huge fan of Henry Cavill. I'll put it that way. So it already has a bunch of good things going for it because he's going to be involved.
It has a lot of promise, especially in his position as
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. But yeah, like I said, I think being cautiously optimistic is the best way to put it. Because I think we were all kind of cautiously optimistic when DC started coming out with movies. And I see you looking at me, Jesse.
I wasn't cautiously optimistic. I was jumping at the gun and excited and screaming up
Well,
and down.
yeah, for Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yes.
But for the ensemble cast ones, I don't understand why DC couldn't get the ensemble casts movies right. All of the other movies have been really good to watch. I loved all the Aquaman ones. There's 2 of them now, right? I think.
Or,
Well, we haven't seen the second one.
Still haven't even seen either of them.
No, I haven't seen the second one.
I'm terrible about watching movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a thing. You
Vernon says,
first of
I
all,
don't
it's
have
expensive.
that. Vernon says, I don't have that kind of fancy shaker, but I do have a fingernail polish shaker.
It's the same thing. I
Whatever
imagine.
helps separate your pants, honestly.
Yeah, that's right.
Got this one on a Prime Day deal. I was like, okay. It works. Helps me save my pants.
Oh, that's cool.
Resurrect them. But
That's one good thing about having at least part of your paint here that's not been really thinned well. You can use it to fill in the mold lines.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, that was kind of always my thing with like the push to fit. I do like how it makes assembling them a little faster.
Yeah.
But my issue is just that
Sometimes the mold
they
lines
don't
are
quite
yeah.
close up well. And
Right.
and even right here on the top of this guy, you can see it kind of arching across his back and
Right.
across his shoulder blade.
Yep.
But that to me is kind of the thing of like, unless you're like hovering over the model,
Right, you're not going to
And-
notice it.
it's like if I saw it from 10 feet away, I would not even pay attention to it. But
Correct.
yeah.
All right. So I finished all of the bases. Well, not finished. I got the rocks and the sand done.
You want to show?
Sure, go ahead.
Nuno asked Jesse, what did you think of Gal Gadot as
See that
Wonder Woman,
paper?
and did you think it was good
See
casting?
the booklet.
Yep, absolutely.
I loved it. 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 I have always been a Wonder Woman fan. Nobody can replace Linda
Carter.
Carter at all, but I loved Gal Gadot as it. I thought she did a great job. I thought she fit the character well. I guess a little bit of me wanted a little bit more of the, and then you have to click push, of the Amazon. I wanted her to be a little bit beefier. She's an Amazon woman.
She's gotta
Big
be.
shoulders.
Oh, like muscular.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like I expected a little bit more.
Chutzpah.
Yeah.
Chutzpah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What is that?
I expected a little bit more muscle, but not that Gal Gadot wasn't muscular. That's not it. I just kind of expected.
Realized
Amazon.
she was like Israeli.
Oh, she's a warrior. She's
Yeah.
she's a soldier.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. balls.
6'3" muscle lady.
Yes, exactly. Ooh, Vernon says, look at the beautiful rocks.
Shut up, Vernon, you dork. You're such a dork, man.
Probably need some.
I can
known
hear
oil
him
and
saying
then
that
dry
too.
brush. I don't know what that word is.
Needs some known oil. Yes, it does. And then dry brushed. Yes, I know. I know. I gotta wait for it to dry first.
I brought some if you need it.
No, I've got some dark tone over there. It's Army Painter's stuff. I save my gnome oil for
The tabletop.
yes
When you spill
because yeah. Let's see, what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna do blues now. Do I want to do High Lord blue or magic? Let's do High Lord. Let's do the outside of the.
No, in one of my collections of my Wonder Woman stuff, I have a couple, but I have an autographed picture of Linda Carter when she was Miss America. And it is a beautiful picture, and that won't leave my collection. I love it. It just... I did love me a Linda Carter.
Yeah,
I did.
absolutely.
Vernon said, also, I'm not in the arm length category. I don't know what that means.
Means he's not within arm's length.
You can't reach
I
out.
can't go smack.
Smack,
Shut
smack,
up,
smack.
Vernon. All right, here we go. This is the thing with this is that I can only see the inside of this dude's cape. So I'm like, what does the outside of his cape look like? It's probably not that color.
You didn't watch the Citadel promo video?
No. No, I didn't.
You didn't watch how Duncan Rhodes does it?
Oh my, no, that dude makes me like.
Makes your skin crawl.
No, he doesn't make my skin crawl. He just he makes it look so easy, and then you try to do it.
Two thin coats.
Yeah, just 2 thin coats and you'll be fine.
A quick flashback. It's just like, how did you get all that done?
Right, exactly. I'm
Vernon
like,
says, remove from base, paint everything, even the bottoms of the feet, and reglue.
Oh dear.
yeah, that's what Vernon does.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's see. I think I'll go dark. I'm probably totally messing up your audio with this.
No, you're
It's
good.
a short
Don't worry
time.
about it.
We're all good. Vernon says, you never know who's going to look at Minnie.
I definitely know. I'm never going to detach a mini from its base to see if you painted the underside of its foot. No one will do that. I don't even think the Golden Demon judges do that. Sharp breath in. Do you know something we don't know?
Yeah, right.
Do I know something you don't know?
Yes. As far as Golden Demon judges is concerned.
No idea. I know that they're doing different brackets this year. They're not doing just kind of general fantasy, general sci-fi, general diorama. It sounds like they're going like, you can compete for Necromunda, you can compete for AOS, you can compete for Underworlds, you can compete for 40k. I think even some, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it, but they might have even broadened it to like Warcry or a Kill Team, just because I know that they have a few different models. But no, as far as judging goes, I've never competed.
Yeah. It doesn't really appeal to me.
I usually just do it for kicks and giggles for my own enjoyment, but no, I'm a little shy for competition. I think most scenery my minis get is on the Instagram story, and that's by maybe 150 people. So I'm not a huge look at my stuff, but yeah. But no, as far as doing your bases and stuff, that's one thing I had to kind of get on with, because it's like I would always build my minis, slap them on the base, prime, and just go from there. But kind of the more I've gotten into painting and stuff, it's like, no, I guess I'd like to do that properly. And then one of the big things actually was when I started my Age of Sigmar army. It kind of felt like a clean slate.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do and do how I feel like I want to do it.
What, babe?
Sorry to interrupt. Vernon asks, just in case anyone on stream does not know, what's that weird wood thing that is holding your mini by magic?
So I am relatively cheap with my mini painting. So I went to Home Depot and bought like a 3-foot chunk of wooden dowel and just cut it up into like 6 to 7 inch chunks. And I got maybe about a dozen or so mini holders out of it. I've done that a couple times, so I have a big tub at home just full of wooden dowels that I've used, and then I put 3M double-sided foam tape on it. Probably can't hear it, but every time I touch the mini, it kind of crackles and pops and doesn't have a good bond to it for this model. But no, wooden dowels have been a great mini holder for me with the 3M foam. It's what I've done for the last couple of years. Haven't had an issue with it.
Well, it's a good size, too.
Yeah, and it's a good size because I can hold it and spin it around and not have really a bad spot to hold on to. But
Do you want me to show, honey?
Well, there ain't much to show. It's just the jacket. This guy. No, not that one.
the quick on and off, though, of those holders is what I wish I had. Because every time you take the mini off of the tape, it just loses a little bit more adhesion as it goes.
Well, this is it's a little
tricky.
Yeah, you gotta kind of work with it sometimes, but
Yeah.
What?
I just didn't know if you wanted to.
Oh. Okay. I mean, it's just a coat of what is it called? High Lord Blue, I think, on the back of this coat, and it's just a speed paint, so it's gonna settle into the recesses and away from the edges, so that it has a little bit more. Like, see, look at that mold line, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like on that one, you can see right in there.
Yep.
I think on one of my, because I built those ones at the same time I was building these ones, and I think it was actually on this model right here on that on those shoulder pauldrons.
Yep.
I just like there's a small gap, and I'm like,
well, it's on this side. You can see it on this side.
yeah, this is like, come on.
Yep, right there.
Or like my issue with, especially with like the push to fit models, is when I'm clipping them off the sprues. It's just like, okay, what's push to fit and what's sprue?
Right.
Because like on this guy, on his wrist, right where it's holding the Warhammer, I'm like, I think that's sprue. Clip it off, and I'm going to put it together. I'm like, nope. Furthest thing
Vernon
from
asks,
it.
Sam, do you have a Citadel holder?
Yes. Yes, I do. I have a Citadel holder.
I'm totally nervous that I'm gonna put paint through this paper towel and go straight to your
No,
table.
don't worry about it. This is like the basic cover. We usually have playmats on top of it, so don't worry about it at all. I mean, be careful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't let it ruin your day.
Let my pot of Agrix Earthshade and
Yeah, that would be
Nuln
bad.
Oil absolutely ruin your ruin your stuff. Last time I'm inviting that idiot.
No.
Nope. No, that's not how we go. That's not how we go. Oh, Strider.
Those are some big words.
I know.
The thing that I definitely learned about when I was like priming with white was that there is 0 tolerance from missing
Oh, yeah.
a piece.
You're correct.
It's like
That's what I'm struggling with.
all of a sudden it's
right
just like, I think I got this area, and let it dry and come back, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of little white freckles all over the place.
Vernon asks, have you played Brass Birmingham, Sam?
Have I played Brass Birmingham? Not Birmingham, no. I played Brass back when it originally came out, but not since. Man, I think I got that. That's okay. That's okay.
Since you're a board game guy, I'll tell you that I got. Have you ever played the game Cthulhu Death May Die?
Yeah.
So I got the couple of the Cthulhu models and the Rylar, or the Ryla model primed that I'm gonna try and get painted up here
That's
for my
cool.
own box. So those
Yeah.
minis were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah, that's Simon, and Simon usually does a tremendous job on their minis. Like tremendous job on their minis. Oh, look at that. More stuff I have to go back and touch up. Yay.
And then you touch the stuff that you wanted to touch up with on another paint, and then you have to go touch up that one.
Yep. The story of my life. But it's coming together. It's just usually with speed paints I've found when I've used them, and it's probably just my capability as opposed to other people's capabilities, but I've found that they don't really look that great until you go back and touch them back up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all good, but
Vernon says, I just painted the wooden barrels that come with that. Brass Birmingham.
oh. Yeah. Painting scenery is easy, dude. You're a loser. I know Vernon very well. Nobody get mad that I'm being mean to him.
He's mean to me first.
He usually is. He's usually very mean to me first. And I have to retaliate. Otherwise, he'll think I'm weak.
Actually, doing scenery and terrain has been a portion of the mini hobby I've had a lot of interest in trying, but just have not taken the time to really get into.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly a lot due to the fact that it's hard to find people in our area, especially up where I live, being about the only person I know up there that's into this
Yeah.
kind of hobby. So it's like, well, there's really no rush or reason to build a lot of stuff,
Right.
but it'd still be fun. I always tease my wife that I'm going to make a bunch of stuff and then enter it into the fair up there and be like, into the art piece.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, going to show the world that this is what your farm boy is into.
That's right.
Got to show them that farm boys need hobbies
That's right.
besides drinking.
Besides drinking.
besides drinking and buying old crappy trucks.
All right. Well, I like it. Vernon says he sent you pictures before and after pictures on Facebook.
Cool. I'll check them out.
Vernon says, I've got thick skin. I'm not as thick as Gimli over there.
That's funny. Okay, I think that's about all of the blue on, the dark blue at least, on. I guess I should be doing all of these little tassels too, but good night, there's so many of them.
Did the tassels on... Who was it? Oh, yeah, the little tassels on his shoulder guards. I think they were supposed to be there, that one.
They're gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one.
But on that one, I was putting it together, and I just like, where's the chunk of plastic come from? I looked at it,
What
like,
is that
uh-oh.
one?
So like, well, the other one's coming off too, I guess. Yeah. No, that's always my issue. Like, it doesn't matter if it's push to fit or just regular models. Like, I've done it 100 times with my Death Guard models where they'll have these little bitty things just barely hanging on there.
Yep, all those
And
little
I'm just
bits.
like, yeah, I'm just like, yep, nope.
That's coming off.
You have 0 chance of survival. Sorry.
Yeah, that little piece.
You're
Nope, not
you're
gonna
cool. I like you for accent, but there
Yeah,
is
but you're not
no
gonna
way that you're going from sprue to model.
I can't do those
Without
yet
me
because
breaking.
there's too many things that are behind it. So,
Okay,
alright.
let me see.
That one's done. Oh, let me see. This dude is mostly white. I mean, literally, except for the tassels and the little plume coming up off of his head.
Yeah, I gave you the easy ones.
What time is it? 11:19? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. So many freaking tassels. What is up with this dude? It's like he's tying all of his stuff together with tassels.
I have the pictures.
What's that?
Oh, there it is. Vernon says, as soon as I finish up Marvel Zombies, Mythic Battles, Ragnarok is next on the table.
Dude, that I'm a little jealous about. I would love to be able to play Mythic Battles Ragnarok. Did you ever play Mythic Battles Pantheon, Max?
I did not. My board gaming is very hit or miss.
Yeah.
I have a few that I really like, but by and large, I don't have a lot of board games that I really get into. My friends, like my buddy Ben, he and his family are really into board games, so a lot of stuff I learned about is through them. Like Nemesis was a big one for their family.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. And then
Vernon says, those are his book it ribbons. You leave him alone. He's read a lot of books for the free pizzas.
All right, then. We'll take it. His bucket ribbons. Been alone.
Vernon says we need a rematch in Pantheon and then Ragnarok.
Yeah, that would be good.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
Nuno asks, which do you consider to be the best way to apply primer?
At a distance.
Shaken well. I don't know. I mean, I've only ever done it one way, so I just do it the way I know how to.
Yeah.
Shake the can well and start before you hit the minis and
Yep.
never open up while you're over them.
Right.
So it's like, that was
Yeah,
half
you,
my
yeah,
battle.
always. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, don't start spraying directly onto the miniature. You gotta
Work
kind
your
of
way over them.
Yep. Start off and then start the spray and then come into it afterwards. After you've already started, you know.
That is pretty fancy.
Yeah, it's super fancy.
I was pulling it out and I'm like, do I need this? And I started looking at some of my paints. I'm like,
Yep.
Yes,
It's-
I do.
it's not going to go well if I don't.
Shh, you're fine.
Oh, Strider.
Here's a question for both of you. As
Yep.
you're painting for me. What do you feel is the best thing that you have bought that helps your painting hobby? Is it like an organizational thing? Is it a set of better paintbrushes? Is it, what is the thing that you've bought that you went, yeah, that elevated my hobby a bit?
That's a good question.
I think for me, so much of the good stuff I've gotten have been gifts
Oh,
from
nice.
from
Yeah, yeah.
my family. So like my folks got me the paint carrier,
Right.
just so I could have a better way of organizing my paints.
No, I was actually thinking of the paint carrier. as one of
So
the
yeah,
things.
the
Yeah.
paint carrier was a good one for my folks. The paint puck my wife got me for Christmas a couple years ago. That's just been huge in, you know, kind of keeping my my brushes clean. The investment in a good brush soap, just so you can protect the longevity of your brushes, has been good. Yeah, and just even like I was telling you guys before we started, just finding ways to make the hobby possible without breaking the bank.
All right.
So like wooden dowels, I prime a lot on the free painting sticks you can get from Home Depot. I've cut apart pizza boxes if I need to batch prime.
Right.
Just doing stuff like that makes the hobby still enjoyable, but you know, just
Doesn't break the bank.
yeah, just it's a way that you can ensure that you can continue to do the hobby. Yeah, as far as like stuff that's revolutionized it, the paint puck has probably been the one that I'm most excited about,
Right.
just because it helps me save my brushes and I'm not, you know, constantly having to get new ones because
New
mine
ones,
are
yeah.
getting frayed. Yeah, just I think it's little stuff that just helps you keep doing what you're doing.
Sam, same question for you. But before that, Vernon answered when they say what's the best way to prime, and he said rattle can or airbrush primer, either outside or in a vacuum hood. Be sure to wash your minis if they feel slick.
If they feel slick, you don't
If
have to
they
wash
feel
them.
slick.
Yeah, you don't have to always wash your
No,
minis.
he wrote that. If they
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
slick.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Vernon said the best thing that he's got that kind of changed his things were brushes by far. Brushes make a huge difference, is what he said.
Yeah. I have a set, or not a set, I have brushes 0 through 4 that are sable. That's supposed to be nice and just kind of quick with it. I do really like them, but just kind of for how I feel like I'm still learning painting.
Yeah.
Like I use them for specific scenarios, but by and large, I just kind of get the brushes that I've had.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not quite nuanced enough with the mini painting to really notice the nice snappiness of a sable.
Yeah.
But I understand that they are highly regarded.
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Oh man, this guy is tassel-tastic as well.
Although I will say though, I don't know if it so much helped me with the hobby as much as my hobby space. But last year for Christmas, my in-laws got me a really nice lamp that folds in multiple joints.
Oh yeah, those
And
are
so
cool.
it really helps because like our house is pretty small.
Right, and that'll-
So, and it doesn't have super good lighting.
So that gives you really specific lighting.
And
Nice.
so that's been just a huge benefit. So like that way when you're holding the mini a certain way, you don't just get weird shadows
Right.
all over the place.
Yep.
And so you can see the nooks and crannies of where you missed, where you want to touch up on.
That's cool. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't have an answer.
You don't have an answer?
No.
Well, then I guess part 2 is, what is the thing that would elevate your hobby that you want
I have
for your
no
birthday
idea.
or Christmas?
I have no idea.
That you need to make sure that other people know about.
I
I'm just saying, you know.
haven't a
Help the
clue.
mamas out. Vernon says, I pretty much use sable brushes now, but I started with Windsor and Newton
Windsor and
Cotman
Newton.
brushes from Michaels. If you want cheap but very usable, I recommend those brushes.
Yeah. The brushes I'm using are actually ones that I got initially when I started, like this set. And then these ones actually came with the case that my folks got me. And they've not been horrible, but I'm just kind of using them
Right.
as I learn and grow. And then when I feel like I'm at a position where it's like, yeah, I could definitely use and I can use the sables to their full capacity, but I'm also in a place where I know that I'm going to be able to take care of the
Yeah.
Right,
sables
right.
because you go to that level and that's an investment.
Right.
Yeah.
And if
and
you're
I-
not taking
and
care of them,
it's
yeah.
kind of a wash.
Wash.
A
I
wash.
get it.
Aha.
Vernon said,
Kung kung. For what?
People, we have to watch this show. This is great. Okay, but wait. I had asked you a question. What would help you elevate or what do you need that would help you
Yeah.
elevate your... And Vernon answered, Sam's answered would be somebody to paint his minis.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Well, dude. I feel the love there, Vernon.
Okay, tell him kung kung, because that makes me laugh.
It's from a show that we're watching on Netflix right now.
Really funny.
It's called Resident Alien, and it's about a guy, an alien that has been sent to. Well, I don't want to say too much because
He
it
got
does
stuck
give
here.
away.
He's stuck on her.
He gets stuck on Earth because his ship
Crashed.
crashed, so as he's trying to fix his ship, he's trying to meld into society as much as he possibly can, and he taught himself how to speak English by watching Law and Order.
Oh God.
And so as he's going through and trying to fit in with society, he will randomly add in a kong kong,
But he said
and
it
everybody
all
just
up.
like looks at him like, "What are you doing?"
What is the matter with you?
It's pretty funny.
But it's super funny. So Jess and I have been doing that to each other here recently.
That's
It makes me
awesome.
laugh every time. But
Yeah.
kung kung.
Kung.
Vernon asks, oh dear, what's the best way to clean a spaceship window?
This reeks of a dad joke.
Yes.
I have no idea.
With a wash, obviously.
Aha. Aha. Aha.
Yes. And that's another thing that makes us the aliens laugh on the show is just like super like
Super
cringy.
Like, it's so terrible.
like he'll tell a joke and he'll go ah 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 ah.
It's like the. Did you guys ever watch the old movie Galaxy Quest?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah, it's exactly
what it
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
That's exactly what it makes me think of. And the people around him who are people are like,
what is
are
the
you
matter?
okay? Like, what is the matter with this guy? Actor from Resident Alien was
Alan
The-
Tudyk.
pilot in Firefly.
Yeah, pilot and Firefly. Yep, that is correct.
Excuse you.
I know, right? Jeez Louise, man.
Goodness, man.
Sorry.
Maybe not have Taco Bell before you come over next time.
Just can't help myself. Cheesy gordita crunch. Must be had.
I gotta say, I agree with you on that. That
Cheesy
is by
gordita chip crunch.
It's got to be had.
that
Really?
is the best Taco Bell thing ever.
It's got to be had.
Yep. I am failing at life right now, specifically my painting life. What in the world am I doing?
I know, you know.
You just got to take the Mr. Rogers approach. It may not look the best, but
Oh.
it makes me happy and does.
And Vernon actually said, and the alien is played by Alan Tudyk, hence my wash
no.
joke.
Oh, okay, got it.
See, there was like a double joke there.
Dude, seriously, come on.
Kung kung.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me laugh.
Is that the same guy that plays...
His joke from last night was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to think of Resident Alien. Is that the guy that plays Steve the Pirate on Dodgeball?
I've never seen Dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it?
I have no idea. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to even think of Resident Alien.
Yeah, I don't. We saw like I don't know. It popped up on our Netflix. Like, you might like this, and we really are enjoying it. We've only watched a couple episodes, but we're really enjoying it. And Dante's watching it with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like last night, he was in his room playing Halo, and I sent him a text because that's how we communicate in the 21st century. We just send a text across the room. And I sent him a text and I said, "Hey, we're watching Resident Alien," and he was like, "Yes, I'm coming." They said yes, the same actor.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to. Because I see it advertised every now and then. That guy is.
It's funny.
It's got some saucy parts, but for the
Yeah.
most part, it's pretty cool.
That guy's
It's pretty funny.
That guy's hysterical.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, you want to show?
No,
Nope.
it looks horrible. It looks horrible.
It looks.
I gotta fix it.
Oh, it's fine.
I mean, it doesn't look horrible.
Haven't even shown mine.
It's incomplete. That's the only thing. All right. All right. What should we do next? Let's do the skin, because that'll make it look really good.
I started with the skin.
I know you did, because you're supposed to, because...
Do you want to show it on the camera there, Max, so you can see
Yeah,
what
go
we're
ahead.
doing?
There's a
Okay,
good
we'll help you
distance.
get it in there.
There we go.
That's already coming off the
There we
tapes.
go. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming together really good, actually.
Yeah.
Well done.
Starting on some of
A
my.
little bit
There you
further
go.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Some of my medals going on, but
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Looks good.
I'll probably keep working on my skin here in a sec. I have no rhythm or rhyme as to what I do. Just kind of go with a free spirit, man.
All right, I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to go with, can you hand me the
What do you
gold
need?
and silver?
This one
Yeah.
and silver.
Yep. Now I gotta do.
Nuno asks, have you ever been to a comic book convention like San Diego or New York Comic Con?
I have not.
I have not.
I have not been to San Diego or New York, but I've been to Seattle and Portland.
The closest thing I've ever been
I'm a
to,
geek.
the closest thing I've ever been to a con was our local town, Wenatchee, had a small one called Wenatchee Con, or WenCon. And I only went to that because my sister at the time was working at Town Toyota Center. And my art background is more like photography and stuff. And she's like, hey, this would be a good opportunity for you to come get some fun pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and took some pictures for the arena, and yeah, it was a good time.
That's a cool idea.
It was funny because it's like one time I was going back through some of my pictures, and this was a bit before I got really into Warhammer. As I was going through, I was looking at some of the pictures I took, and there was actually a case of Imperial Guard and Imperial Fist
Oh yeah.
minis there, and I was like, oh hey,
You like it? Look at that.
Warhammer.
That's
How about that? Warhammer at a con. Who'd have thought?
Vernon says, I will never judge another person's minis harshly because at the end of the day, they're not gray. Well, except for Sam's minis.
Wow.
They're not gray. They're white.
Aw. One God 777.
$10.
$10.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, buddy.
I am so
That's awesome.
thankful. Thank you.
Me too. That's cool. People come in and do super chats every once in a while.
Nice.
That's cool. I like it. Okay, that is not the same color. Now, see, does that look like leather to you? Does that look like leather?
It's a little orange.
Does it look like hardened leather? No.
It almost looks like you put a shade straight on the primer.
Well, that's pretty much what speed paints are.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Never played with speed paints, because I'm not speedy.
Okay, so his gloves. I'm just sticking with the madness here. Sticking with the madness. This is not the color of leather that I was expecting, but we're just gonna stick with it.
Thank you so much, One God. I know we already said that, but I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Okay, definitely gonna have to come back and touch up the white. What are you
Really?
laughing at, lady?
You, really?
Yeah, this is definitely not the same color. But, I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
One God said no problem. And Vernon said, if you're looking for something that will knock out batch minis quickly, I highly recommend doing the word again, zenithal. Highlight, priming, then using the speed paints.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever, Vernon. Nobody cares, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a darker brown than this is, but it's okay. These guys are fabulous because they have special coloring.
I need to get something for my wallet.
Okay,
Coming in.
go for it.
I'm registering Dante for the retreat.
Yep. All right, so that's that.
No, we're not leaving.
Yes, you are, Mama. I can see it.
You're going, so I go with you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I say.
I know, but I'm trying to multitask. But Vernon's. Nuno asked what time it is where we are, and it is. I don't know. My watch just died. It is 11:42 in the morning.
Dang.
On Friday.
Time's flying.
Vernon says, but as Sam is finding out, they need more than one coat. What I like to do is mix some of the speed paints with actual paint.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be done. That's definite. But what usually does happen, I have used speed paints before, Vernon, but thank you for assuming that I hadn't. What I usually do end up doing is I come back afterwards and I touch up with other real paints. So that is definitely what's going to have to happen with some of these, but it is what it is.
Strider, sit back down.
I don't want to, Mama. That sounds boring. That sounds boring. Yeah. Okay. And that's all that's really on his. That'll do for now. Now this guy, he's got white boots, so we don't have to
Pete
touch
Shirey
that.
says, hey Sam, my man, how you doing?
What's up, Pete? Doing well, my friend. Pete actually works for Simon.
Hey.
Yeah, so he's been a good buddy of mine for quite some time. And he loves sharks. So if you ever wonder what you should get Pete for a birthday, just go with sharks. Something about sharks.
Vernon says, I figured that you knew, Sam, but I'm putting it out there for your fans.
Oh, thanks, Vernon. You're the man.
Just looking out for you.
Yeah, he's just looking out for all us peeps. Yup.
Vernon says, I painted a Jaws for him, LOL. And Pete says he did, and it's awesome.
Yep. And I forgot a couple of the tassels on the back of his thingy. Oh, and on the sides too. Yep. You were telling me about that, and I ignored you. But, all right. That will work.
Pete Shirey says, it sits on my shelf. I never thought a kitchen drain stopper would ever be on display, and here we are.
Kitchen drain stopper.
Nuno says, it's almost time for dinner, so I'm leaving. Thanks for the time, and see you guys in the next vid. Happy painting.
See you, Nuno. Thanks for being here, bud.
And Vernon laughed at Pete.
Yeah. You okay over there?
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to call Kristen because I can't. I'm struggling to make something work, and it's a techie thing, so I'm getting frustrated.
We'll take care of it. Man, this is
woke up
so hard.
In the middle of the night last night, and I think my phone buzzed or something, and I sat straight up out of bed, unplugged my phone, looked at whatever it was, then put it back in, but then I didn't plug my phone back in, so my phone has like no battery. Awfully quiet over there, boys. You all
I
good?
do not like this part where I'm trying to get a bunch of places I can barely see.
I'm just trying to play with the skin tones.
Skin tones.
Mm-hmm. Cause I want it. Cause like the what is it? Bugman's Flesh or whatever.
Yep.
It's a good base tone, but too dark, and then I don't want to go too light.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to just make it look meh.
Yep. Understood.
He's a naked horseman.
Yeah, sometimes when you're painting minis, it does get pretty quiet because you're like, if I breathe wrong, it's going to get messed up.
And like I said earlier, whenever I'm painting, I'm just by myself, so I'm never
Yeah.
actually talking to people. I'm usually either listening to music or
Right.
Podcasts or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. So we. Okay, so missed a couple of those. Missed a couple of those tassels on this dude, so I
Oh,
gotta
dear.
go back and get them.
This guy.
I'm excited for tonight. It'll be fun.
Yep, it'll be cool.
What are you guys up to tonight?
We're doing a board game night over at St. Paul's.
Nice.
But it's a family board game night. So it's different than our normal board game nights. It's really geared toward the families of St. Paul's and the kids. And so St. Paul's goes up through 8th grade, you know? So it's much more kid-based games.
Yep.
Vernon just made me happy. Says I actually like to listen to jazz when I paint.
Jazz.
Okay, Sam can't argue with jazz. We have jazz on all the time here.
I can argue all I want about jazz.
And Vernon also says, not tassels, book it ribbons.
Book it ribbons. Same thing.
My kids love jazz. I don't know that Aiden or Sam do as much,
Weirdos.
but I frequently listen to jazz. Okay, Vernon, I have one for you.
Oh, dear.
My daughter told me this last week, and I've been listening to this play mix on my Amazon nonstop. It is Greatest Hits by Seth MacFarlane. And I didn't know he sang jazz, and I didn't know he had such an amazing voice. And I really, really like listening to that. Spurs fan says, Sam, how much will you charge me to paint my Fury of Dracula LOL miniatures? No, not LOL. Yes,
Yeah.
LOL.
Oh well. I don't think there's a whole lot of miniatures in Fury of Dracula, actually. But I don't do commission
He doesn't do
because
commission. We barely have time
it's
to
too much
eat dinner
time.
together.
Yeah, that's true. It's too much time.
Vernon says, yeah, Seth MacFarlane is the one who sings in the movie Sing. He's the one who sings the Frank Sinatra. And I realized that now after Daphne told me it. But he has so many other songs, and they are so good. I find myself listening to that playlist a lot lately.
You guys are weird.
Vernon says 4 characters in Dracula. Those are the only minis in Fury.
Yep. I'm painting a metal hammer.
Is it the 40,000th Warhammer?
Yes. I believe there is a, it's actually 39,999 out of 40,000. So it's not quite as...
And Vernon would also like to say, and of course his are painted.
Oh.
You can't say that.
His.
His characters for Fury.
But yes, I will say who?
Don't.
Cares.
That's it.
I got that. Vernon was, when we were at PAX, something that Jim always does is he will incessantly talk about all of his sports teams at Georgia Tech. And literally at the table, nobody cares. But we love Jim, so we let him talk about his sports teams. And there were a couple of times where I just nailed him with that. Because he gets into this story about Georgia Tech sports.
This guy.
And this guy, and I was like, who? And he goes, oh, and it doesn't, I cares. And it just stops him right in his tracks. And Vernon erupted in laughter.
Spurs fan says, Sam, how about, and I can't do the voice, you would have to, of Dr. Evil, give me the Dr. Evil voice, of $1 million.
$1 million.
Yes. And Vernon laughed. And Spurs fan said, okay, maybe Vernon will paint my Dracula minis.
He would do a better job. He would absolutely do a better job. Strider's dreaming. That's pretty funny. Man. So we've got about, let's see. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to be done. We got to get ready for another stream. We are going to be doing another stream here in about an hour. We're going to be playing, JT and I are going to play Wyrmspan.
Oh,
here on the
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's basically a dragon.
Wingspan.
It's Wingspan with dragons.
Dragon Wingspan.
Basically. There's a little bit. There's a few other differences, but
Pete Shirey says, well, Sam, you let me talk about sharks too, so I guess you're just good at letting people have their moment.
I do. Sharks are a little bit more interesting, though.
And Spurs fan asks, hey, Vernon, were you the one that played TI-13 with Sam after the Cubs won the World Series?
Maybe.
And Vernon says, sharks are more interesting than Georgia Tech.
I mean, I'm not trying to.
You're not wrong.
I mean, y'all went there. I wasn't gonna go there, but you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to see if there's any more oh, the sword. The sword.
That was Vernon that played TI-13 with you
I
after
thought so.
Cubs won.
Bum, bum, Ba-bum. All right, so we've only got a few minutes left here. Do we have any final questions before we kind of head on out? Because, you know, if there's something that's like, should I ask? Should I not ask? Go ahead and ask. And then we'll make Max answer it.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer
I don't
it.
care. I'll talk to strangers on the internet.
Stranger danger.
Okay, well, before we end, I want you to do close-ups of what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Pete says, okay, I gotta go. We're launching another project today, so I gotta get back to work. Have a great weekend, y'all.
See ya, Pete. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Bye, Pete.
No, that's not the same color.
Maybe do the tips here. Oh, what was that? What happened?
Hmm?
What happened?
Oh, just looking at how I'm getting the paint into his horns and whether or not I like the definition on it.
Yeah.
From letting it get too runny and
Yep.
fill in the small pools. So just making sure I'm getting them cleared out, but not taking the paint all the way off too.
Yeah. Understood.
So what I'll probably do with this, guys, after that dries, probably put some Nuln oil in his horns and then do a dry brush to kind of bring out the tips.
Yep. That'll work.
Spurs fan says, I missed the live stream on the canceled P word game.
The poop game? There's no canceled P word.
And Vernon would like to ask, my question is, why did you lose to me at Blood Rage?
Wow. Vernon's always got to make himself seem bigger than he actually is.
Sounds personal.
And Spurs fan says, Jesse, I would love that documentary video link. I don't know what I was talking about documentary. But then he said, not. And Vernon Piper says, glorious purpose. All caps.
Yeah, he probably has an inferiority complex because he was in the Air Force. Alright. I think that's not bad.
What was I? Oh, that's what it was. I got it. I missed one.
What?
Spurs fan says, you guys get my documentary video link on ancient Roman toilet habits.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, I would not want that. Jesse would love that video documentary video.
Oh,
Not.
I see.
I probably would not. I really barely made it through the poop game with Sam because I was like, stop, we can't keep saying poop.
Yes, we can.
And now I've broken my comfort level barriers
Quite
and I
fun,
can say it all
actually.
the time.
Poop-a-loop.
Spurs fan says, Jesse, cancel that word, Sam. I
Nope.
need to respect your wife. Poop is not terrible. And Vernon says, I'm going to go drown my sorrows in paint water.
Oh, this is really. I need to shake that paint more. That's really too thin.
Use this fancy shaker.
Right?
It's free to use. That's not good.
That's not good.
Eyeballs.
Oh, I hate doing eyes, man. I actively avoid doing eyes. I just let the known oil settle into the recesses enough to where it looks like it's shadow in the eyeballs. I hate doing eyeballs.
Eyes up. Look up.
Yep, we're getting there. Are we on the main
I
screen?
am on the main screen.
We are on the main screen.
I probably got like 30% of my model throughout the whole thing.
And you know what?
No, I'm saying for your camera.
It's okay.
You probably
It's
didn't
okay.
see much of
It's okay. We, you know.
I'm not accustomed to streaming.
Neither. Well, streaming painting streams, I am not either. So
Yeah, we need to.
we got to work on our setup for streaming with miniatures and paints because
We do need to work.
we're not
on
the
that.
best at it.
Vernon says, Max, pro tip: when painting eyes, flip the mini upside down.
Hey, there you go. Haven't ever thought of that.
That's what he says.
Flip the mini upside down. He's really good at it too, and he also has an insanely small brush for it as well.
Yeah.
He's got
Like
like
a 5/0.
it's like a horsehair.
Yeah.
That's how thick his paintbrushes are. I've seen them.
I've got a small 5/0 in my case, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't use it.
But all right, well, cool. We're gonna get out of here. We've got to get ready for the next stream. So, thank you for joining us. Max, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for having me, all.
Bye.
And Jesse says goodbye
There, look,
as well.
I'll get closer.
Yeah,
Bye.
there you go. Bye. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll be doing more of these in the future. We're not going to say exactly when because we don't know exactly when, but we'll do more of these in the future, and we will be playing Direchasm with these two once we are finished. So, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Come back in an hour for Wormspan. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
End.
Yeah.
I didn't click it, didn't
Oh, you gotta do that.
I? There you go.
Then you gotta wait for it to pull up. Catch up, brother.
Yes.